Hello, once again, it's time for Xorro Asks, and the question this time around, who in the EDM space do you think is long overdue for a debut album? Think of artists that obviously haven't released a proper studio album yet, and who you think would be able to produce a solid debut album. Best answers get featured in the video, and here we go. From Melody Isn't Real, Bad Computer, fuck me. I would love to see a style stretch throughout a full-length album. Bad Computer would be a really sick pick, actually. I think Bad Computer has pretty much all the essentials he needs. I think all he really needs at this point is just something to write the album about, you know? Like, the album needs sort of a concept in order for it to, I think, in order for him to pull it off. Because if it was just like a bunch of random Bad Computer tracks, I don't really think that would work, at least for me. If there's like a concept to the album, I think Bad Computer can pull that off really well. Alright, my boy DC ranks. Someone already said Bad Computer, so I'm gonna say my other favorite artist, Grant. I know he's been producing albums for other artists like Tate McRae, but just imagine his own full-length album with his sound design. Dude, a Grant album with his sound design would be legendary. Just even with his Monstercat stuff, like just with his Monstercat stuff, in that sort of like style, or like Lush from last year. Oh my god. That would be so freaking cool. And on top of that, if he does do his own album, he could get some of these artists to feature on it, like Tate McRae. And he also did an album for Meghan Trainor, I believe. Oh, dude. That would be so sick. See, now I'm going to spend the rest of the day thinking about it. Thanks, DC. From the first prototype, I'm honestly waiting for Have to release an album. With all these bangers on Monstercat and he's released recently, I think he's due for one no matter what. Well, for one, Have is two people. So you've got kind of two people on that project. A Have album would be interesting. I don't know how I would feel about it for the most part because it would be primarily D&B, I would imagine. And if you know anything about me, D&B is not exactly my favorite genre in the world. Have does it pretty well. I will say that. Have does D&B really well. But if the whole album is D&B, I don't know. They would have to divert into other genres, I think, if they wanted a full-length album to work. At least for someone like me, I guess. I don't know. DJ Master. Pegboard Nerds. With the most songs on Monstercat and a very household name, a larger project from him should have happened a long time ago. Yes, their heyday has probably passed, but with an ever-growing and changing electronic scene and the core dubstep sound as strong as ever, a PPN album could be so much and more, especially if it releases on Nerd Nation or Monstercat. If it was back in the day when they were really high into their power, high into their popularity, then I could see it. I don't know if I would like it nowadays. Because their style, not that their style is necessarily so different from what they used to do. I think they're past the point that an album would really do a whole lot for them. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they'll put out an album and completely surprise me. But for the time being, I don't know. I don't really see an album from them being super hype. I'm trying to think of it in my head. Ignore me. Alright, at Infinite Drizzle, a world album would be in good timing since he had just come back from retirement and he's only releasing singles and EPs for over 10 years now. A world album would actually make my entire year. If World actually sat down, took the time to make a full-length album, I wouldn't even care if it's in the indie dance stuff or the future bass stuff or whatever he does. I don't care. A proper world album would be awesome. I will say, I was not too much of a fan of the Solomon France collab from last year. Not the kind of sound I like from World, I guess, would be a proper way to say it. Like I said, a proper world album with his sound design, with his ideas, with his sense of melody, and that kind of thing, I think would be so awesome. So fucking awesome. Alright, at I Will Free You From Your Shackles, Space Laces has been way overdue for a debut album. He's been in the electronic game for over a decade, he's released 2 EPs, 3 Voltage mixes with lots of unreleased IDs, and has even made 2 collabs with Marshmello of all people. Yet, still no album. I feel like if he releases one anytime soon, it could probably shake up the dubstep scene given how celebrated he is. I mean, let's be real, even without an album, Space Laces has done quite a bit for the dubstep scene. I mean, you know, he's up there with one of the like celebrated greats along with like Excision, you know, Subtronics, Dan Timmer, even like in the melodic realm, people like Seven Lions or like Midas or Dabin. There's a lot that I think could benefit from a Space Laces album. I think a Space Laces album, like a full-fledged album, would be super cool. And again, if you take the time to make one, if you take those ideas that you have for your singles, merge them into an album somehow, then oh my god, that would be. And this is, you gotta remember, this is coming from someone who doesn't listen to a ton of Space Laces out of their free time. I've heard a bunch of Space Laces. Space Laces' debut album, god, you might be right, it might shake up the scene. From Husky 20, Cloud Cage would be fantastic. I'm just in a need for more full-length albums of melodic house. A Cloud Cage album would not be too far from a reality. The fact that he's now been releasing on Silk the past couple years or so, and has been doing God knows what else in his free time. Doesn't have to be on Monstercat, but preferably on Silk. That could be pretty huge. I mean, especially since we're doing the whole Cloud Cage sweep thing every best of. I feel like every song on that album would probably sweep up all of the Silk spots for that year. if he did do that. But yeah, Cloud Cage album. That could be interesting. Yeah, that could be interesting. And finally, Starseed could be cool. He already has so many banger EPs. The storyline of a full-length album would be fun to hear. I'm not too familiar with Starseed. I've heard a bunch of his stuff. Or I've heard some stuff. I think I've even ranked some of his stuff on the channel before. Melodic dubstep, right? Am I right on that? Could be fun. Could be hella fun. I would not mind seeing that. Alright, that's about it for this video. Thanks for tuning in again. I've got nothing to say today. Next video should be the next BEMS. I'm working on it right now. Give it like maybe a week and should be out. I'm trying to pump out these longer videos as fast as I can because back when I was doing rankings, it took forever to do that. Sorry, there's only like one video a week. That's just how it goes for right now. But I hope you guys are having a great day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.